Gayle King can pinpoint the exact minute her marriage ended, 9:16 p.m. Her husband begged for forgiveness. She tried to stay, but some wounds never heal. After 13 years at CBS, Gayle is stepping away, and William Bumpus finally revealed why trust would always be fragile between them. At 6, she was uprooted to Ankara, Turkey, where her father worked for the U.S. government. The move exposed her to a vibrant yet unfamiliar world, crowded markets, foreign languages, and a life between cultures. She often stood out as the only black child in school, learning early how to adapt, observe, and navigate differently. Returning to Maryland in 1966, Gayle found home foreign. Her accent, habits, and experiences set her apart. She learned to hide parts of herself and blend in, but the tension of being different gave her resilience, a strength that would shape her future. In 1972, she enrolled at the University of Maryland to study psychology, never imagining a media career. But in 1975, a part-time job at WTOP TV exposed her to the energy of live television. By 1976, she joined WJZV in Baltimore as a production assistant, learning the craft behind the scenes. There, a snowstorm led to a life-changing night with Oprah Winfrey. A sleepover turned into deep conversation, forming a friendship that would become one of the constants of Gayle's life. Gayle stayed in television not for fame, but for the work itself, building her career step by step and falling in love with the world of storytelling. Gayle's psychology background shaped her in ways most people never realized. It taught her to listen, notice emotions, and ask questions that opened people up, a skill that would become central to her interviewing style. From Baltimore to Kansas City, her career moved steadily forward. In 1981, she arrived at WFSB-TV in Hartford, Connecticut, a city far from national attention, but the place where she truly grew as a journalist and a woman. Night after night, she covered elections, tragedies, and community stories with steadiness, warmth, and credibility. In 1982, she married attorney William Bumpus and had 2 children. On the surface, her life looked perfect: a respected career, a family, and community admiration. Beneath it, she balanced early mornings, deadlines, motherhood, and a marriage that would eventually end in divorce in 1993. Even through heartbreak, she remained steadfast, building resilience and a deeper emotional range that would later make her interviews unforgettable. While Gayle's career was flourishing locally, Oprah Winfrey's rise to national fame drew attention to their friendship, but it was Gayle's own talent that shone. In 1997, she launched The Gayle King Show with Oprah's support. It lasted 1 season, a public setback that became a lesson in endurance rather than defeat. She pivoted, joining O, the Oprah magazine, as editor-at-large in 1999, connecting with millions of readers through honesty and relatability. National television returned in 2011 with a show on Oprah's network, OWN, and then, in January 2012, Gayle joined CBS This Morning. Alongside Charlie Rose and later Norah O'Donnell, she transformed the show with her rare balance: serious but warm, empathetic without losing authority. Audiences trusted her, and the ratings reflected it. Her credibility was tested during high-profile moments, like Charlie Rose's 2017 firing, and major news coverage of tragedies. Gayle remained steady, keeping the human side of every story in focus. In March 2019, she conducted a landmark interview with R. Kelly, weeks after the surviving R. Kelly docuseries exposed years of abuse. Gayle's ability to navigate that intense emotional space reinforced why she had become one of the most trusted journalists in the country. The pressure was intense, and when Gayle landed the R. Kelly interview no one else could, the nation was watching. Filmed in his Chicago home, she walked in prepared, having spoken with Azriel Clary and Joyce Savage and set clear boundaries. Kelly denied everything and lashed out, but Gayle stayed calm, letting his rage reveal him. Around the 21-minute mark, he lost control, pounding his chest and screaming, while she remained seated, steady and composed, guiding him with quiet authority. Her poise became the defining moment. The clip went viral, CBS turned it into a primetime special, and praise poured in from Oprah, her children, and colleagues. proving that calm control could outshine chaos. Years before that iconic moment, Gayle had already learned resilience through personal betrayal. In 1982, she married William Bumpus and had 2 children. Outwardly, their life seemed ideal: a stable marriage, careers, and a growing family. Yet beneath the surface, cracks formed. On June 24, 1990, at 9:16 p.m., Gayle returned home to find Bumpus in bed with a close friend. The betrayal cut deeper than infidelity. The other woman's cold remark, "I never liked you," compounded the hurt. Counseling followed, and for a time, Gayle tried to repair what was broken. But the trust she once had. Gayle tried to repair her marriage and stayed longer than most knew, protecting her family and children even as trust had already been shattered. The divorce wasn't finalized until 1993, and throughout, she kept her children insulated from the worst of the pain, refusing to poison their relationship with their father. The betrayal left a lasting mark, especially because it came from someone she had once considered part of her inner circle. Years later, she would joke about the moment with dry humor, but the truth was undeniable. Some wounds never fade. Eventually, William Bumpus made a public apology, calling his actions life-altering, and praising Gayle for her grace and focus on co-parenting. By then, she had already survived the hardest part, raising her children and building a life beyond the damage. That experience shaped her resilience, and her later calm on national television was not just polish. It was earned through heartbreak, betrayal, and learning how to stand still when life falls apart. That endurance was clear years later during the R. Kelly interview. Gayle's unshakable composure came from decades of holding herself together in private crises. Even after Bumpus's apology in 2016, the double betrayal, husband and friend, remained a defining moment in her life, shaping her trust and approach to relationships. Yet, she never hardened into bitterness. She kept moving forward, raising her children and advancing her career, showing discipline and emotional control long. By late 2025, a new challenge emerged. Fake AI images of Gayle as a bride circulated online, sparking public confusion and even questions from her children. She addressed it with humor, but it highlighted a persistent reality: decades of public fascination with her personal life. At the same time, serious questions about her future loomed. Her CBS contract was set to end in May 2026, and after more than a decade as a morning television anchor, speculation swirled that her tenure might be coming to a close. For viewers, imagining CBS mornings without her seemed almost impossible.